Hello, my name's Niall and I'm one of the respiratory sleep physiologists of the sleep service in Belfast City Hospital. And we had a recent poll on our private Facebook group asking patients what they would like us to cover in the next YouTube video on our Belfast Sleep Service channel. And the vast majority of patients that voted had said they wanted us to speak about CPAP accessories. So before I kind of run through the most useful CPAP accessories that we've come across, I just want to state that the Belfast Trust and anyone that works in the sleep service has no ties with any of these companies or accessories. And I suppose the other important thing to note before you make your final purchase for any of these items, if you decide to go down that route, really important that you not only price around but check reviews. So I suppose the first one that we'll chat about is the CPAP Pillow, and there have been quite a few recent comments actually on our Facebook page about the CPAP Pillow, and the feedback in general has been very good. Now there might be one or two patients that have mentioned this that it hasn't made a huge difference, but I would say the majority of patients have noticed a positive difference since using the CPAP Pillow. The majority of which are memory foam, so it's pretty comfortable, but the key feature with them is the wee gaps either side, which means then your CPAP mask doesn't push against the pillow, affect the seal and lead to a lot of air escaping, because one of the issues that a lot of patients would have on CPAP treatment is that the CPAP mask seal can become affected during the night, and one of the causes of it is if your mask is pushing against the pillow. So with the CPAP Pillow, leaks are reduced, you're able to use your CPAP treatment for longer, and as a result feel much better the next day. So this is just one example of the CPAP Pillow. They usually range between 40 to 60 to 70 pounds, so they are quite pricey, but because CPAP treatment is a long-term treatment, I would see this more as an investment. And if you can get something at 40, 50 pounds, whatever, that you notice the benefits of over a number of years, then it'd certainly be money well spent. If you're debating, I suppose, whether to purchase a CPAP pillow or not, I suppose one other option is a V-shaped pillow, and the principle's very much the same. It's to prevent your mask from pushing against the pillow and affecting the seal. We have a number of patients have purchased a V-shaped pillow, and I've noticed a real positive difference as well. And you can get it places like Argos, Dunelm, and various other stores, and you're talking between 10 and 20 pounds. So again, that's another option if you want to look at purchasing a pillow. Another useful CPAP accessory is the hose lift. So I have come across a couple of patients. One gentleman in particular swore by the hose lift and said it made a huge difference to him and his ability to use his CPAP machine. It really just prevents the CPAP hose, tangling around you and going down the side of the bed. Some people, yes, are successful in having it coming around the headboard, but sometimes then when you move about it doesn't always stay there. But with the hose lift, it just stabilizes the hose. Sometimes the pull of the hose, if it moves about during the night, can affect the seal of the CPAP mask. And with the hose lift, you're talking between sort of 50 and 30 pounds for a hose lift. But again, feedback has been pretty positive. The mask liners now are a very popular CPAP accessory that a lot of our patients would purchase themselves. And the purpose of the mask liner is to prevent marks on the face, skin irritation if you do have quite sensitive skin, and blisters and pressure sores forming. They also can help to reduce mask leakage in some cases, but usually it is for those skin issues, and it's usually a soft cotton material that comes between your mask and your skin, so it just acts as that barrier. What I would say is price around. They are quite pricey, and quite often with the mask liners, you'll only maybe get a couple of weeks use out of one, and it might only be a pack of say 4 or 5, so you're maybe having to purchase them a new pack every couple of months, and they're quite expensive, as I said, and over time that obviously adds up. So you might want to look at mask liners that are out there, like this one here that you can wash and reuse and get a bit more usage out of it. And we have had some patients that have ended up making their own. Just if you've got an old cotton top or t-shirt that you're ready to throw out and you're sick of looking at, well, maybe cut it out into the shape of your mask. And again, principle is very much the same. It's just acting as that barrier between the mask and your skin. We've had some patients have made their own. It's free, and it's done just as good a job. The CPAP Neck Pad is another useful accessory. Um, some people would suffer from neck pain and discomfort where the straps come around the neck and also maybe around the side of the face, particularly if you've maybe any jaw issues. And again, feedback has been good for those kind of cohort of patients. And as you can see, it's a material which can be washed, reused. It's pretty easy to connect to all CPAP masks. But again, as I said, do your homework, price around, check plenty of reviews before purchasing. But again, we have a few patients that have purchased them, and feedback has been pretty good. Some of our patients as well will be using these Xylamelts. So these are used for patients that would be particularly bothered by a dry throat and mouth. Now, one of the side effects of CPAP treatment is a dry throat and mouth because of the pressurized air that's coming in through the mask and through the nose and the mouth. The humidifier should help to reduce that, but in quite a few cases, patients still report a dry throat and mouth even with using their humidifier and making adjustments to their bedroom. So one thing that you could look at is Xylamelts, which is just like a wee small tablet you just put underneath your tongue just before you go to bed, and that is very successful at helping to significantly reduce oral dryness due to CPAP treatment. You can get it in most local pharmacists, I think some Boots as well, but worthwhile checking in with the pharmacist before purchasing them, just in case it might interfere with any medication that you might be on. Always check the side effects as well, but we've had a number of patients that have purchased these and have told us they've worked really, really well. So an eye mask, you might think, goodness, what's this all about? Some patients would report air blowing into their eyes. It's a common issue, particularly if you're somebody that moves about in bed. Obviously, if you move, the mask will move and air can escape and blow into the eyes. And that can lead to eye irritation, bloodshot eyes, conjunctivitis in some serious cases. So we have had a couple of patients that despite, adjusting the straps and changing body position when sleeping, they're still getting the air escaping into their eyes. So one solution is an eye mask. And you can get eye masks ranging from £5 to £20. But yes, I would always start off with the cheaper eye masks. If they work fantastic, then you can maybe look at purchasing the fancy ones, or maybe asking Santa to get you them for Christmas or whatever. But again, the idea is, in the cases where you've tried everything and are still escaping into the eyes, well, at least then it's going to be just hitting the eye mask. It won't wake you up. You're able to use your CPAP machine for longer and enjoy the benefits the following day. Just the last wee CPAP accessory that we're going to cover is the CPAP hose cleaner. Most people are happy enough, I suppose, just using warm soapy water, warm water, dash of fairy liquid down the hose and giving it a bit of a swish and clean it once a week, which obviously is pretty important. But especially in these times when maybe we want to keep things extra clean, it might be worthwhile investing in a CPAP hose brush, which enables you to clean your hose more thoroughly. So you have to remember, especially with the CPAP machines now, a lot of them come with a heated hose and there's moisture gathers, you've got air blowing through, so it's just perfect, I suppose, for bacteria and bugs. So you might want to clean it, as I said, more thoroughly with a brush. And these range from between sort of £5 and £10. You can even get a brush set if you want to go all out, but might be worth thinking about. But as I said, you might be happy enough just clean it as you are with just the warm soapy water once a week. So that's really it. So they're all useful CPAP accessories. There are many more out there, but you just always have to be careful. CPAP, CPAP companies realize there's a huge market out there. There's some really good CPAP accessories and there's some really bad ones as well. So what I would always say is do your homework, check plenty of reviews, go on to forums to make sure you know that these things actually work, and price around as well. Okay, all the best. Talk to you again.